It's not easy to get someone to agree to the interview that we're headed to right now north of Seattle. The couple you're about to meet, like millions of Americans, relies on SNAP benefits to afford food, but right now they're receiving less than they did at the beginning of the year. That's because a pandemic-era boost to SNAP benefits has come to an end. And while the boost was only temporary, the couple says their situation is proof that for many households, the need is permanent.
This is from 2006. We just clicked the moment we met, and that's where we're at. And what a handsome guy. I don't know who the old guy is with the blonde hair, but...
Alan Gossett is not only John Howe's husband, he is his caregiver.
He gives everything he has to me and more, yet I never hear how hard it is for him.
John has primary lateral sclerosis, a rare, uncurable disease similar to ALS.
I'm going to be very disabled for the rest of my life.
Taking care of his husband is Alan's full-time job.
I already do about 70 to 80 hours of care per week for John.
Their only income is the combined roughly $26,000 a year they receive in Social Security benefits. Low-income families who qualify get SNAP benefits based on household size, and then it's a sliding scale based on income. But the pandemic-era emergency order gave the maximum amount to all who qualified without factoring in that sliding scale. John and Alan received $516 a month.
Before, we were pretty much breaking even.
But Congress let the emergency order expire. And while John and Alan are still low income and still qualify for SNAP, their income is now factored in and their SNAP benefit dropped to $13 a month.
I was stunned. I was absolutely stunned, and I thought, this has to be a mistake.
I asked the agency in charge of the state's SNAP benefits why the drop was so steep. Nationwide, on average, SNAP recipients are seeing roughly $90 fewer a month, according to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities. Even though John and Alan hoped we could get more answers for them, the Department of Social and Health Services wrote us an email saying they wouldn't talk about a specific case. A spokeswoman told us they worked to alert families that a change was coming. Alan says he had no idea the cut would be so steep until this letter arrived in January.
Benefits they vary household to household, and it depends on household size and household circumstance. That, of course, is a horrible situation to see that go down to that extent.
Ellen Vollinger works for the Food Research and Action Center, a group advocating for more support to fight food insecurity, pointing to issues like the rising cost of food and an increase in need being reported at food pantries across the country.
There's no way that $13 a month is calibrated to something that would be meaningful or realistic. Everyday people would know that right off the bat.
Long term, we just can't absorb that $500 a month. We don't have the funds to make that up.
Is the deduction in SNAP benefits enough that he would have to go back to a nursing home?
Yes.
Alan is now making plans to put John into a state-sponsored nursing home.
I love him. He's just, I can't imagine my daily life without him in it.
It just seems like a waste of a life because I'll never get to come home again after that week.
They say on top of the over-the-counter medicine and supplies they're already paying for each month out of pocket, without the extra boost in SNAP benefits they were receiving, the cost of food is just too much to keep John here. Chris Stewart, Scripps News, Stanwood, Washington.